The feral predator from prey versus the jungle hunter from predator, the first and latest predators seen on screen. Who wins? In the red corner we have the feral predator, a Yautja who hunted during September 1719 in the then territory of the Comanche tribe. After wreaking havoc against both the Comanche and French trappers, he eventually came into contact with Naru, a Comanche healer and aspiring hunter, and was ultimately defeated and killed after she used the creature's advanced weaponry against him. Feral was a unique specimen amongst typical predators, not only possessing a visually distinctive appearance, but also sporting weapons and gadgetry that were more primitive compared to other examples seen in Yautja culture. This was due to his unique background, hailing from a different, even hotter hemisphere of the predator homeworld, essentially being a desert predator. Feral predator culture supposedly held a reverence towards bones, not only for the fashioning of their armour and equipment, but also being key to the subspecies' diet as well. Owing to his name, the feral predator presumably possessed a lesser intelligence to his cousins, and perhaps a larger degree of savage behaviour. Indeed, the predator seems to specifically enjoy close combat, even without the use of his wrist blades, wrestling with and killing a bear with his own hands. That is not to say he was not adept in armed combat, however, and he employed the use of several unique armaments. Feral predators' weapons and equipment consisted of wrist blades, bolt gun, wrist shield, a combi stick able to split into two halves, razor net, bowlers, flechettes, biomask, cloaking device, disintegrator gas, medicomp. The feral predator also possessed a curiosity towards the dynamic between local fauna and, upon encountering its wildlife, he slowly built up his repertoire of trophies, working his way up the food chain to larger, deadlier prey, from snakes and wolves to bears and humans. Though it is unknown if the feral predator shared the same code of honour as his cousins, he at least bore some traits reminiscent of an honourable Yautja. Taking little interest in prey he deemed non-hostile, he notably ignored Naru for most of his hunt until she did eventually pose a threat. Strengths. Feral predator is physically strong and durable, defeating a grizzly bear and was seen taking huge amounts of damage. He has a large inventory of weaponry, including a bolt gun which shoots guided ammunition and is skilled with melee weapons. Weaknesses. Feral was seen to venture out in the open a lot at times, even when he had plenty of tree cover, leaving himself exposed to attack and taking a lot of damage. He was baited, outsmarted and beaten by an opponent much smaller than him. Being from 300 years earlier than his opponent, he has older weapons and is lacking a plasma caster. And in the blue corner we have the Jungle Hunter, a Yautja from the Jungle Hunter clan who hunted in Guatemala during an insurgency in 1987. He is widely known as the predator who killed several American military personnel in the region, including members of an elite unit led by Dutch Schaefer. Dutch eventually faced the Jungle Hunter in close quarters combat, mortally wounding him and leading the creature to commit honourable suicide with his self-destruct device. The Jungle Hunter seemed to enjoy toying with his prey, as is shown multiple times. He prefers to hunt in the trees and is a very intelligent and stealthy hunter. He has an aggressive yet honourable personality, as shown during the fight with Dutch. He follows the Yautja honour code, which is seen when he spares Anna, who's unarmed. He also only kills prey he deems worthy. Jungle Hunter's weapons and equipment consist of wrist blades, plasma caster, biomask, cloaking device, medicomp, self-destruct device. While relatively lightly armed by Yautja standards, he makes up for it by being a master of utilising the environment around him to stay hidden until it's time to strike. Strengths. The Jungle Hunter excelled at stealth and was very intelligent. He had great judgment when deciding when to engage. He displayed great physical strength, beating Dutch to a pulp like it was nothing, and possesses more advanced weaponry than his opponent. Weaknesses. He carried few weapons, only a plasma caster and wrist blades. The two predators find themselves in a wooded area with lots of bushes, logs and trees. The feral predator confidently wanders out into the open ground searching for prey. He explores his surroundings, but all he sees around the forest floor are small rodents and bugs, nothing worth hunting. A couple dozen meters away and high up in a tree sits the jungle hunter. He's been watching the feral predator down below for a few minutes now. A Yautja, but not like him, a different species, from the other hemisphere of Yautja Prime. He's never seen one of these with his own eyes before, he's only heard stories about them. Brutish, lower intellect, savages, not unlike the super predators his kind despises so. If he can take this one down, he'll be the envy of his entire clan. He takes aim with his plasma caster and gets a lock. His laser lights up, showing 3 red dots on the back of the feral's head. But just as he's about to fire, Feral happens to turn round and notices the laser pointing at his head. He jumps out of the way and the plasma shot streaks past and explodes on the ground beside him. Feral grabs his bolt gun and aims at the jungle hunter. He fires a shot off, but jungle hunter ducks back behind the tree and it misses. Jungle hunter peeks back out and fires another plasma shot. It hits the bolt gun and sends it flying out of Feral's hand, the shockwave knocking him down to the floor. Feral grabs a bowler and throws it up into the tree. It curls around the branch Jungle Hunter's holding onto and cuts it from the trunk, and Jungle Hunter comes falling down. He manages to grab the last branch before he hits the floor just a few meters above the ground. Before he can pull himself back up, Feral grabs one of his ankles and pulls him down. He lands on his back, losing his plasma caster. Feral tries to stomp him, but he moves out the way and hits him with a counterattack. Feral has lost his bolt gun and Jungle Hunter his plasma caster. From here on, this is going to be a melee fight. Feral draws his combi stick and swings it at Jungle Hunter. He dodges the first attack, but the second one hits him and knocks him to his knees. Feral lifts the weapon to finish him, but the Jungle Hunter catches it mid-air and detaches one half of it, giving himself a combi stick to fight with as well. The two circle each other, waiting for the other to make a move. Jungle Hunter swings his half of the combi stick, but Feral opens his wrist shield and deflects the blow. He counters, but Jungle Hunter rolls out the way. While he's on the floor, Feral lunges at him and tries to cut his head off with his shield. The edge gets closer and closer to Jungle Hunter's throat, but he grabs one of Feral's bowlers off his belt and cuts his arm off with it. Jungle Hunter stabs at Feral with his end of the combi stick, but Feral catches it with his wrist blade and stabs him with it. With both predators injured, the fight now comes down to wrist blades. They have a back and forth almost sword fight with wrist blades, but Jungle Hunter catches Feral's arm mid-air and stabs him with a counter. The win goes to the Jungle Hunter. So I thought this matchup would be a pretty close one, as both were very tough predators. However, I thought in most encounters the Jungle Hunter would win most of the time, as he seemed better at hunting than Feral did, not being seen or injured by his prey as often, and seemed to have higher intelligence and better decision making, and was better at fighting in my opinion, as Feral was defeated by Naru, but Jungle Hunter beat the crap out of Dutch, who'd be way tougher than her, and Dutch only won because he got lucky and dropped that counterweight on him. Feral did hold the advantage of having more weapons and gadgets, which gave him an edge in that area, but I felt Jungle Hunter looked like a more skilled and experienced fighter, so I thought he would win most of the time. This was a fun video to write, as both predators here are some of my favourites ever seen, not only from the movies but of all time. Let me know in the comments who you think would win and with reasons why. Thanks for watching my video, and I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then remember to leave a like on it to help with YouTube's algorithm. Fully scripted and edited videos like this one take a lot of time and effort to make, so I really do appreciate it when people do leave a thumbs up on them. Also, you can now become a channel member from as little as $1.99 a month if that's something that interests you, and I'll catch you in the next video.